2005 Secretary and Treasurer, Jessica Kobekis and Justin Libby, lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then remain standing for the national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. Thank you for enduring the heat for this most hot occasion. There is water in the lobby in case anybody really needs it, as well as air conditioning in the theater if you need a respite in the simulcast of what you'll see today. Before we sing our national anthem, I'd like you to join me in a moment of silence. A year ago today, a young member of our school community, Abby Silvermain, tragically passed away. In honor of Abby and in honor of all of our deceased loved ones who would love to be here on this great day, I ask that we all now share in a moment of silence. Thank you. And now Senior Miss Ashley Christie will lead us in singing the Star Spangled Banner.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket rainbow, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the
Good evening. I'm very pleased and proud to congratulate the 6th graduating class of Poland Regional High School. Thank you, Jessica and Justin, Ashley. I'd also like to thank the PRHS band under the direction of Mr. Larry Williams for providing us with the music for the evening. Thanks also to Ben Briggs and Ronan McNulty, Senior Class President and Vice President, for serving as faculty marshals, and to Ashley Blocker and Crystal Malloy, Junior Class President and Vice President, for serving as marshals for the senior class. I'd like to introduce the people on stage this evening. Beginning at my far left, Dr. William Dowdy, Assistant Superintendent of Schools, and soon to be principal of PRHS. Mr. Ray Lafreniere, Dean of Students. Ms. Nina Schlieken, Superintendent of Schools for Union 29. Dr. Ike Levine, Chairperson of the Poland Regional High School School Committee. Mr. Derek Pierce, Principal. And Mrs. Angela Atkinson Duino, Dean of Faculty. I am Nancy Violet, Graduation Advisor and MC for the evening. Ms. Nina Schlieken, Superintendent, will greet the senior class. Please join me in welcoming her.
Welcome to the special guests of the class of 205. Today's a celebration for our wonderful seniors and their families and friends, and for our staff who have worked diligently and with great passion to help our seniors to the level of graduation. Back. Thank you. Okay. For just a little while, we spend some time together, while in old Cape Cod, I got to know you better. The fun we had, your hopes and dreams, and all the plans you've made. And now it's graduation day. We've come to celebrate. The greatest joy for my second year as superintendent in Union 29 has got to be getting to know our students of the senior class. I got to know them on the senior class trip. I may be starting a tradition here. I would like to give you a little glimpse of what some of the events were on the senior class trip, if I could. I'm relieved that my initial encounter was not an omen for the remainder of the trip. I got to the high school a little later than I had expected to, and everyone was gathering in the gym. I noticed a young lady struggling with getting her luggage through the gym door, so I offered to help her. And I also knew that the students had to check their bags in the gym in the morning for inspection. So being the ever-observant administrator, I asked her about her bags being checked. She looked at me, smiled an ever-sweet, gentle smile, and said, "I'm a teacher." Yes, how bad is that? Whenever I saw Mrs. Poland, I thought she was one of our kids. Anyway, I wondered if this might be a sign of things to come for the weekend, but I'm grateful to say that certainly wasn't the case. Well, I have to take that back just a little bit. We had hired a bus driver who wanted to follow Mrs. Briggs to Cape Cod because he didn't know how to get there. The funny part about it was, neither did Mrs. Briggs. She had given him the map and the directions. We were trying to follow the bus, but he had continuously left us in the dust. Still, Mrs. Garcia had left 2.5 hours after we did and got there well before we did. And of course, the air conditioning on the bus was way too inadequate for the high temperatures we were experiencing last weekend. So the seniors, are you cranky yet? Other than that, we had a terrific weekend. Some of the memories I will fondly recall of Friday night will be so many seniors were wearing the class of 2005 Ready to Ride t-shirts. The fun they had in the pool right after we arrived, the big toga party, the shimmy sheet shuffle from the second floor to the first floor of the motel, and the gummy bears flying through the air. Friday night was pretty eventful. Curfew was supposed to be midnight. But you know these seniors, actually, I can understand how they got their reputation for being the negotiators. They pretty successfully negotiated situations which were unplanned throughout the weekend, like Toby negotiating a Dairy Queen run with Angela, Jared, and Casey, or like Jeremy negotiating the rentals of fishing poles so that he, Ian, Sean, Adam, Curtis, and Stevie could catch some striped bass. By the way, all they caught was a clam. But we know that they had a good time, as was evidenced by some of the gentlemen returning from the fishing trip with caution tape wrapped around their bodies and their head. I'm sure they have a story to tell about that one, but I don't know what it is. And then there was Kevin and Erica, who negotiated with the chaperones to take everyone to the local arcade Saturday night, where they had a great time. I learned about Casey. He has great power when he's swinging that golf club. He swung it so hard that the golf ball ventured across the arcade, across the street, and hit a house. Casey, from all accounts, you got a great swing there. There were predetermined choices for what our seniors wanted to do on Saturday. Some of our seniors went golfing with Mr. Holmes. We had students going to whale watch. The highlight of the whale watch trip for everyone was seeing a variety of whales, including, I believe, a bluefin whale. Another highlight for the whale watchers was the group of about 150 dolphins that surrounded the boat as they were ready to leave. Mrs. Frank said that it was as if the dolphins were sending the seniors off like on cue. She said everyone talked about it. It was just an awesome experience. The rest of the seniors chose to stay around the motel. There was tennis, the indoor pool, the outdoor pool, and of course the beach. Reports were that the ocean was about 10 degrees warmer than in Maine. That's a good thing for the hardy souls who took the first plunge. I thought Miss Garcia, who went kayaking Saturday morning, was the first to venture into the ocean, but I heard from Mrs. Briggs that actually the first two were Ashley and Amanda, who ventured into in their togas Friday night, or was it early Saturday morning? And then there were the volleyball games. We had the Devil Dogs versus the Cupcakes. I learned that we had a lot of kids who know how to play this game, but for any of the newcomers, our kids were open, were thoughtful, and very patient. Let me share that if you play volleyball with Abby, Max, Chris, Ashley, Jeremy, Amanda, Erica, Sean, Ronan, Ian, or Becky, you're going to have a game on your hands. And then you might want to ask Ben about his Pebbles look. And then we had a rousing game of wiffle ball on the beach. How could it be anything but rousing when you have Abby, Max, Jeremy, Curtis, Alex, Ian, Adam, Toby, Brittany, Ashley, Amanda and Amanda, Chris, Erica, Ronan, Becky, and Natalie playing their hearts out. We give Mrs. Gunn the Awesome Catch Award, and Adam gets the Flying Bat Award. And then there was the Frisbee and the Fog Challenge, which looked like a lot of fun, but I honestly couldn't see the white Frisbee within the fog to know for sure. Karaoke was Saturday night. It was fun to see some of the more quiet seniors get up and sing. And can our seniors wail? There was Lori and Erica, Courtney, Amanda and Amanda, and Garrett and Pat, and Devin, Max and Ronan and Alex and Brandon and Pat again. Who will forget Ashley and Alex's rendition of Amazed? Or Chelsea's perfect impression of Cher? It was an evening full of pizza and fun. Each student has a gift of their own, and I loved talking with them and watching them play and interact with each other. I knew Jeremy was special the first time I met him. A constant glint in his eye. He was making the rounds the first time I saw him. Based on my observations last week, and I think Jeremy could sell an Eskimo a ton of refrigerators. I'd say he had the most food in the room, and we thought that he deserved the social award for the weekend. Derek, DJ, gets the drinking the most cups of coffee before anyone else award. We had several win the unsolicited sunburn award. Abby and Nicole were the first, Max and Stevie were the second. Josh wins the DDR King of Dance Award. Ben Wardwell was the senior's archivist. He was taking pictures and videotaping throughout the weekend, and Ben Briggs took the picture of the whole group in front of the dunes of the old Cape Cod. I hope you'll bring these pictures out when you folks meet for your 10th or 20th class reunion. It ought to be fun to see. For those of you who didn't make this year's trip, I think you'll get a kick from seeing the fun and foolishness of your teachers and your teachers and classmates. They had a ball. I learned a lot while I was on the trip. I learned from Nate Spencer what skimming was. I learned that we have very talented musical class. Did you know that some of our seniors already have their own CDs? Ben, Nate, and Toby, collectively known as Sparks the Rescue, have a hard rock CD, and Chelsea Pelletier has a soft rock collection of songs. Thank you, Chelsea, for sharing your CD with me. I loved it. I'm amazed with the various talents and gifts sitting among us today. Ronan was the first student to initiate a conversation with me. We had a delightful 2-hour conversation Saturday morning. And I learned a lot about him and about his convictions, his perspectives. He even offered to me his critique of his high school experiences. Mr. Chasen informed me of what he found one night when he had a bed check. So I still have to learn from Ian, Sean, Curtis, and Adam what the pair of handcuffs were doing on someone's luggage Saturday night. And oh yeah, I forgot to ask you, Stevie, did you get the sand out of your shorts yet? I'm wondering if this might be a seniors thing. Last year on our Nova Scotia trip, we had a few students who had a personal challenge of staying up all night. This year was no different, except that there were a couple of complaints from others in the motel that our kids were a bit too noisy at 4 or 5 a.m. So they sent a security guard to the scene. The security guard said he'd have to notify their chaperones. Imagine his surprise when he learned that there already were 2 chaperones among them. Am I right, Mr. Holmes and Mrs. Gunn? One of the observations I made is how everyone seemed to include everyone, unless someone chose to be alone. That really doesn't tend to be the case in most high schools. Everyone got along, and the students were genuinely thoughtful of each other and of the chaperones. Now, how many students do you know would pay any attention to their superintendent, or even want her to come along on a class trip? These students invited me to join in. Stevie was the first one to ask me to join in. Although I couldn't play, I certainly cheered them on. But Stevie, I guess I'm not going to ask you about why you gave me the candy necklace. And later, Max, Ronan, Ben, and Brandon invited me to join them for lunch on both Saturday and Sunday. Such thoughtfulness is unexpected and very appreciated. We have such great kids within our 3 towns. I had a great time. Thank you for making my second year. Thank you for making my second year so special. Each of you is special to me. I'm glad that they are such great kids. Even if for a little while I was able to get to know you. Twinkle, twinkle, baby. You are entering a new stage in life. May each of you have joy and peace in your heart. Accomplish much. Be people of great integrity. Work hard. Listen to what others say. Give of yourself. Be generous. You are wonderful young adults, each of you with your own beautiful gifts. I am certain that you will achieve very special accomplishments. I am very proud to be a superintendent. Welcome to the graduation of the class of 205. With diploma in your hands, we know you've passed the tests, and now it's graduation day, and we wish you all the best. We wish you all the best.
Thank you. Our first honor speaker this evening is the class salutatorian, Brendan Blake.
Good afternoon. I should begin by welcoming and thanking all of you who have packed yourselves to the gym for this occasion. It is with both pride and great pleasure that I address you this afternoon, and I cannot imagine a more desirable audience to address. After all, if I must risk embarrassing myself, I prefer that it's in front of a group consisting of family, friends, and teachers. When I began to compose this speech, I was advised that I should focus on a single theme or message. Later, while perusing the internet for sample orations, I found that graduation speakers usually restrict their speech to just one topic. Presumably, adherence to this structure would have simplified the writing process and even enhanced the clarity of my address. However, it also would have misrepresented the education I've received at Poland Regional High School. In my 4 years here, I have rarely been bound by conventional structures. Instead, I've experienced tremendous latitude that I will hopefully evidence with this speech. Next to my picture in the yearbook and above my senior memories, I've quoted an ideological hero of mine, Sir Edmund Burke. Although I admire his political philosophy, this particular quotation is largely apolitical. In his reflections on the revolution in France, and now also featured in the 2005 edition of the Excalibur, Burke wrote, "He that wrestles with us strengthens our nerves and sharpens our skill. Our antagonist is our helper. This amicable conflict with difficulty helps us to an intimate acquaintance with our object and compels us to consider it in all its relations. It will not suffer us to be superficial." With typical eloquence, Burke expounded an important virtue of the human condition, a virtue that the class of 2005 is intimately familiar with, albeit some of us still refuse to acknowledge it. I'm sure that many of us can recall sophomore humanities, and more infamously, our autobiographies. To much of our disdain, the sophomore fall was consumed by the creation of these memoirs. They seemed excessively long, the revision process was tiresome, and the nature of the project demanded that we expose sometimes private aspects of our lives. Almost naturally, we were resistant to the entire procedure. Whether you had Beal and Gunn, Fix and Taylor, or Novak and McDougall, your teachers seemed to be quite the antagonists, and in return, I'm confident that we were equally antagonizing. But as Burke explained, our antagonist is our helper, and in hindsight, it's safe to conclude that we benefited from the experience. Mr. Lundgren has repeatedly assured me that good writers have two very specific qualities. First, they read profusely, and that fall we read numerous memoirs. Angela's Ashes, The Color of Water, and Asada, an autobiography, come to mind. More importantly, however, good writers write prolifically. Our autobiography was the first lengthy work of our writing career, and it has been perhaps our most stylistically formative writing assignment. It has functioned for a basis for all other assignments in high school. From lab reports to historical essays to literary reviews, each piece of prose we've composed in sophomore year contains an individual narrative voice, a voice that traces its roots to our autobiography. Yet at PRHS and for the class of 2005, the veracity of Burke's observation has not been proven solely by academic work. Rather, extra academic events, particularly athletics, have showcased the same aspect of the human condition. Whether on the softball diamond or the basketball court, the soccer pitch or the football gridiron, we have learned the innate value of competition. Like our humanities teachers, our opponents have forced us to strengthen our nerves and sharpen our skill. However, they have also furnished us with the most worthy goal, victory. I say this not advocating the unbridled pursuit of victory, but rather in acknowledgement of its merit as a goal. While competing on behalf of Poland Regional High School, the class of 2005 has become well acquainted with both victory and defeat. The cheerleaders, golfers, debaters, public speakers, baseball players, and softball players among us have been tremendously successful. The prospect of victory, combined with the rigors of competition, forced them to perform at the highest level. Yet other teams have not experienced similar success. For them, victory has been constantly elusive and a perpetual stimulant for their improvement. But in this regard, victory, however unattainable, was still a worthy goal. Burke's quotation does not stipulate success. It is instead a discussion of process. In terms of experience, 0-14 does not differ that greatly from 15-1. In fact, my own experience confirms this observation. Between winning a state championship in debate and captaining a winless soccer team, I learned a lot about winning and losing. Yet combined, the two activities have both challenged me and forced me to constantly reevaluate myself. Of course, victory is extremely gratifying, yet the pursuit thereof can be equally gratifying. The perspective that we've acquired over the past 4 years hopefully teaches us this. That is why, in order to complement Burke's quote, I now offer another favorite quotation of mine, a Sanskrit proverb. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lay all the verities and realities of your existence. The bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Such is the salutation of the dawn. While brainstorming the topics for this speech, I had two separate, seemingly disparate impulses. I wished to feature both Burke and the Sanskrit proverb. It was the latitude mentioned previously which has encouraged me to wed the two. In a fashion typical of PRHS, I simultaneously pursued independent themes, and in doing so, highlighted a third theme. This latitude, the freedom to pursue a multifaceted education, has made my time at PRHS infinitely worthwhile. So, for the class of 2005, and looking back on high school, appreciate the latitude and freedom you have had. It may not be soon duplicated. And in looking forward, be mindful of the lessons you have learned. Appreciate adversity and embrace competition. But for today, live well. Cherish every moment. The halcyon existence that is high school is nearly over.
Thank you, Brendan. Our keynote speaker this evening, Mr. Derek Pierce, is very well known to us. He graduated from Brown University in 1988 and earned his master's degree from Harvard University School of Education, doing his internship in Boston schools. He began his teaching career at Brentwood School in Los Angeles, California, teaching English and theater, and then moved to Maine to teach English at Gorham High School before becoming Dean of Faculty and then principal here at Poland. Next year, he will begin a new phase of his career as principal of the new Expeditionary Learning Outward Bound High School in Portland. He and his wife Anya have 2 daughters, Leva 5 and Siri 3. One of his finer accomplishments outside of school is as a member of Team Worst, a toboggan team that competes nationally each year. Featured last year in Sports Illustrated for real, their dubious distinction is to have come in last so many times that they didn't even bother to collect their scores this past winter. On a more serious note, Derek has been the glue that has helped build a cohesive faculty and student body over the last 6 years. We value his vision, leadership, and flexibility. He has modeled for us versatility and involvement, and shown us the importance of maintaining our sense of humor. I'm very pleased and proud to introduce our principal, Mr. Derek Pierce.
Hi, I'm Derek Pierce, and welcome to my senior celebration.
Excuse me. As your advisor, I have to help you.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
Wait.
Thank you. It's my advisor, Bill Dowdy.
And
This is useless, Bill. I've never used one of these in 38 years. More precisely, this is a celebration of seniors, and my essential question is, what is worth celebrating about PRHS Whittier and this senior class? My mentors for this project have been all of you, the students, staff, and loved ones for the class of 2005. So it's a great honor just to be here with you, and I look forward to the opportunity to give thanks through sharing my learning on this project. Given the size of the audience, I have been given permission to my panel, Ms. Ashley Brocker, junior student. Just giving them copies of the rubric. I've been given permission by them, given the size of the audience, to do the Q&A that's required as a part of the presentation in the lobby after graduation, so you don't have to worry about that. I want to start by thanking one of my advisors for the last few years, Bill Dowdy. I'm thrilled to know he'll be the next principal of Poland Whittier. I'm also thrilled to know that he'll be holding up a sign showing me how much time has gone by, so I don't go under or over the strict time limit of 15 to 20 minutes. Because if I get an incomplete on this, me and all of my mentors are back here in 2 weeks for the retake, and we're in some desperate need of quality the first time here, so I'll do what I can. The first feature of PRHS worth celebrating is something I learned most directly from the class of 2005, and most powerfully during their senior celebrations. I saw Elizabeth Perkins on crime scene forensics, and Aaron Cannons on Bengal cats, and DJs on naval destroyers, and scores of others. And in most everyone I saw, usually about 2/3 of the way in, I found myself engaging in one of these. That's the faux knowing nod. That's the look teachers give to students when they want to look engaged, intelligent, but they have no idea what is being talked about. This occurs when the student's expertise has far exceeded the teacher's, and we're just hoping you won't notice. In fact, I think as Aaron was waxing eloquent about Bengal cat's distinctive traits, and as Elizabeth was detailing her lessons from the crime lab, and as DJ expounded with passion, clarity, and eloquence on the distinctions between the Arleigh Burke and Ticonderoga class of DDD destroyers, I think I lapsed into one of these. That's the faux knowing nod and jaw drop. In fact, I know I did because all of these were distinguished presentations, and that's what cinches it. It's the part of the rubric which we didn't tell the seniors about. Competent presentations had to generate periodic faux nods from teacher panelists, and distinguished presentations needed to provoke the full jaw drop, and most did. About 5% of the senior class had as an academic average in the distinguished range. It's a high bar. On the senior celebration, 59% of seniors received a distinguished. It's more than a woo. Give it up for that. And the message inherent in this is unquestionably worth celebrating. Everyone can achieve greatness. Every single person. This school is founded on that belief, and this class has proven it again and again. From Jesse Champagne's glorious painting of the school logo, to Devin Conway's perfect score in writing on the PSATs, from Tyson Jordan's legal speeding at Oxford, to Vanessa Ring's relentless planning on the Route 11 berm, you each can be spectacular, and in spectacularly different ways. This is one big reason we don't track kids, why our graduation standards are as demanding as any in the state. We believe in your greatness, and we are determined to find and develop it. That's why we're here. That's also why we say we're committed to every student graduating college ready, because we know that each of you has the greatness within to succeed with post-secondary training and beyond, whether that's in the Marine Corps or at Bates, whether you're studying culinary arts at CMCC or computer design at UMO. Oh, what a piece of work is man, said Shakespeare. Oh, what a seamless integration of a source, says I. That's a little rubric joke, Lori got it. Some of you may feel that you have not found your greatness, and that's okay. Perhaps it has not yet come to fruition. or perhaps you're too close to even recognize it. When facing self-doubt, if you're lucky enough to still have a grandmother, I'd suggest talking to her. She'd be happy to share what's so great about you. And by the way, celebrating your greatness is not just an ego boost, it's a reminder of your obligation to do great things. We need you to. Individual greatness can be the engine of societal progress. So our community and our world need you to apply your particular greatness for a common good. Our world in our hands. My second point may seem to contradict the first, but has another seamlessly integrated source. Walt Whitman said, "Do I contradict myself? Very well, then I contradict myself. I contain multitudes." February 10th, 2000. That's the date that every founding high school faculty member will never forget. It was the night of the infamous Parent Forum. I think Bob was filming that night, in fact. And many of these seniors were 7th graders at Whittier. Our startup staff had been working very hard, and we had certainly encountered some adversity, but I was still pretty confident about the greatness within. We'd grade schooling figured out, and with more time and education, any naysayers would figure it out too, or so I thought. That belief exploded shortly after 7 p.m. on February 10th, when I began the forum before a packed audience by saying, "Hey, here's what we're going to do tonight." And a parent shouted from the audience, "No, we're not." Turns out this person was right. The evening turned out to be nothing like we had planned. Scores of angry parents needed to vent their frustrations and anger about a new school that seemed to think it had it all figured out, but which didn't, and which wasn't listening to its community. 2 hours later, as the meeting broke up, I recall slouching on the apron of the stage, sobbing, shoulders heaving, the whole bit. At the time, I remember thinking, well, how can this be happening? We're working so hard to do what's right for kids. What I should have been thinking was, you doofus. You've been so focused on your new staff and new students that you've neglected to involve parents, key partners in every child's education. We need parents' involvement, support, and wisdom in order to be successful. In your efforts to be great, you forgot to be humble. And what's the message here? I am a doofus. You are a doofus. Despite our capacity for greatness, we are all prone to remarkable miscalculations, blunders, and blind spots. Wait a second, is there an inner doofus even in the class of 2005? Perhaps the single most talented class we have ever graduated, a class that intends to write history? I'm afraid the answer is absolutely yes. If you're in doubt, I have 2 words for you. Winter Carnival. But still, that's okay. That's the only cheap shot, the only cheap shot. But still, okay, what could possibly be worth celebrating about doofosity? Well, if you expect that every once in a while you will be a total and complete spaz, it can take a bit of the sting out of those miscues. If you don't fight your doofosity, you'll also be more likely to learn from it and laugh at it. In fact, over the years, the pleasure I've gotten from telling stories to friends and students about my doofish incidents, my greatest doof hits, has probably far exceeded the pain of the moments themselves. So expect, learn from, and celebrate your doofosity. Oh, Ashley, is there a question? Yeah, Ashley.
That was absolutely wonderful, Mr. Pierce. However, I have one question. Did you do your works cited?
Oh, I didn't, the works cited?
Yeah.
Oh, I do have it. I'm sorry, I didn't pass it out. I'm a doofus. I forgot, excuse me. Is it works cited? I did have a works cited here somewhere. Works cited. I'll just leave a bunch here for the seniors in a second. You can pick it up after the show. Oh, Ronan, you have a question?
I just wanted to say, Mr. Pierce, I'm a doofus and I'm proud.
I'm so proud of you, Ronan. I'm so proud of you. That's great role modeling for all of us. Fortunately, the next piece worth celebrating about PRHS and the class of 2005 helps to mitigate the problems that can stem from our inevitable shortcomings and screw-ups. If the community was my prime instructor in the last lesson, our unparalleled staff taught me the most about the next one. Later this month, we'll find out if Poland Regional High School and Whittier Middle School are named National Schools of Distinction. We're right now one of 60 finalists out of 3,000 schools that applied nationwide. In this competition, we're being recognized explicitly for our teamwork, as evidenced through democratic governance that allows students, parents, and staff a meaningful voice in shaping course offerings and school culture, as evidenced through teacher teams that allow a cadre of faculty to get to know each learner well and to customize their instruction, as evidenced through the teamwork between teachers, advisors, counselors, families, and students that has helped us achieve a low dropout rate, lower than state average, and a college-going rate 20% higher than state average, that has helped us to graduate these students ready to become the person they want to be and the citizens we need them to be. The class of 25 teams with examples of exemplary teamwork. The boys baseball team executing another successful suicide squeeze. They'll be going to the state regional finals Tuesday at St. Joseph's College. When in doubt, the rest of the speech, I'm just going to say baseball team for applause at any time. The cheerleaders who landed a gravity-defying landed a gravity-defying stunt, drive-by a cappella, blessing us with a harmony that shows what sweet dreams are made of. The 05 class trippers crushing brash middle school boys from away in wiffle ball. Effective teamwork draws on individuals' greatness to allow a collective achievement, a collective greatness that is often far more powerful and meaningful than what can be done alone. Great teamwork can help us to overcome the doofishness that each team member may be capable of individually, especially if the team includes diverse voices and stakeholders. After the February 10th debacle, it was teams of students, parents, and staff that planned a course of action to address the concerns. More recently, these seniors will recall the near melee that ensued when we first introduced the revised senior celebration rubric. Here was a rubric that over 15 trained educators had taken hours to refine, but it was deficient, and we needed a team of staff and students to make it right. Once again, I celebrate your excellence, in part to implore you to make use of your talents, in this case as collaborators, in the world beyond PRHS. As technology connects and shrinks our world, we need citizens who can work together with our neighbors in Mechanic Falls and our neighbors in Jakarta. We need citizens who can recognize and cultivate the greatness in others, who can forgive the doofishness, and who can collaborate to address the issues du jour. Now, I've got a visual that'll demonstrate all this while adding meaning and feeling to my presentation. Now, I know I'm required to include a visual performance in my presentation, and art is not a strength of mine. This is one of those areas where I have to rely on someone else, so I followed Ian Westerman's example, and I asked a girlfriend from Macaulay to make my visual. I think you'll agree she uses artistic techniques effectively. One sec. Thank you, Elle from Macaulay, for doing this. Oh, wait a second, that's not my visual. This is from some kid's sophomore exhibition. I can't believe it, I had it right out on the kitchen table. My mom must have packed the wrong one, and she forgot to pack the double stuffed Oreo cookies in my lunch all last week. I'm gonna kill her. I guess the visual is not a great example of effective teamwork anyway. I didn't even make the visual. And I guess at age 38, I should be old enough to remember my own visuals and cookies. But now I'm going to fail. I guess I could do a performance to meet the requirement, but what kind of performance could help to show the transcendent value of effective teamwork?
Oh, Mr. Pierce.
Jeremy, what?
What about that handshake?
That's a great idea. Come on up, buddy. I need you. Come on up. Jeremy Callahan. Okay,
Don't watch or you'll miss it.
Okay, it's something we've been practicing for a little while. I forgot about this.
You ready?
Oh!
Yeah!
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, Pat, what's up? Pat, what's up? Oh. Okay, that's right. I forgot about that. Come on up, Pat. Come on up.
Ready?
Whoa! Jeremy, I forgot. You know, we could do the
Oh, yeah,
jig.
the jig, yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Oh, yeah, the jig.
Okay.
We will do it. Ready? Woo! Yes! Yes! Woo! Bring it up! Bring it up! What you got?
Pat, I think I don't. With all the people in the gym, this next one may be dangerous. But you wanna?
This top secret one?
Top secret. The time is now.
All right. Beware.
Yeah.
Front row, watch out.
Hey, Jeremy, don't feel bad, man. Jeremy, don't feel bad. Not everybody can title it. Hey, you know what, guys? What real teamwork is about us all working together. Let's bring it all on. All of us. Come on, here we go. Effective teamwork. Oh my goodness. Wow, now that's effective teamwork. Thank you for Jeremy and Pat for making that real for me. So at this point in the presentation, if you were a rubric, and thank the Lord you're not, you might ask, does your in-depth new learning and understanding lead to insights for your future plans? My work in Poland and with all of you has done nothing less than revitalize and deepen my faith in humankind. My naive but essential hope that ordinary people, teenagers, parents, teachers, can achieve extraordinary good through hard work, commitment, cooperation, caring, and a shared vision. That a fabulous middle school and high school can emerge anywhere these factors exist, and especially in Poland, Minot, and Mechanic Falls, and parts of Raymond. But my most important learning is why it's so hard for me to say goodbye, as well as why I have to. Strong, positive relationships are what matter most. They're what inspire greatness, are what motivate the sacrifices necessary to help others be great. They are also what sustain us in the mediocre every day, and what comfort us in our darkest, doofiest moments. The most important learning is also what is most worthy of celebrating about PRHS and Whittier, because strong, positive relationships are abundant here, among students, among staff, among students and staff, among families and students and staff. I know I can hardly wait to hug my advisees after they cross the stage and receive their diploma. I am so proud of who they've become. I also know that I'm a stand-in for many of you, the friends and parents and loved ones who provided the necessary hugs along the way to make this great day possible. Like the class of 2005, I will soon be leaving PRHS. Like the class of 2005, I am excited and terrified, exuberant and sad. The saddest part is thinking of all the wonderful students and parents and colleagues who will no longer be a part of my everyday life, though ever a part of who I am. If one measure of the greatness of a community is how many people you miss when you depart, then I suspect many in the class of 2005 will share my conviction that this place stands mighty tall. I guess I do have one visual to share. It's pictures, I'm sure you can see these in the back, of my wife and my two children, Leva and Siri, my two little girls. These are the people who inspire and nourish me. Everyone has pictures like this of the central people in their lives. It may be of parents, siblings, or other relatives. It may be friends, mentors, partners, or some combination. These are the visuals that our mind has on speed dial, ever ready, 24/7. My experience at PRHS has taught me that if strong, positive relationships really are at the core, if they are what gives greatness meaning, then I need to make more time for the relationships that matter the most. My experience at PRHS has taught me that I need to give up even all of this to do a better job with this. Because as the class of 2005 was always quick to remind us, ultimately, it's for the children. That's nice, guys. Thank you. It's good work. And so thanks again to all my mentors on our faculty, on our support staff, on my administrative team, in our 4 towns, in our student body, and especially in the class of 2005. How am I doing on time, Bill? How am I doing? 14:45? Okay, 15 seconds. Well, that's my celebration of seniors and PRHS Whittier. It really is. The closing is coming up soon. Appropriate transition is coming right now. There it is, 15 minutes. Thank you for coming. Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. We will sorely miss you, but the Expeditionary School will have gained a great leader. Dr. Ike Levine will speak on behalf of the school committee.
With everybody waving, my wife has been saying bib in the back, which is brief is best, so. But before I start, I'd like to acknowledge 2 people that have been sitting in the back doing this the most, and that's the senior class advisors. If you know how successful the senior trip and everything has been, how smooth it's gone, it's been a long year for them, so I'd like everyone to give it up for Drea Beal and Sue Briggs. Whoops. Today is a glorious day, although, hold on. Not only did our men's baseball team beat Greeley 3-1, but this auditorium is just chock full of proud parents, family, and friends who are celebrating 4 years of effort and achievement. Last year, I took the time and spoke about the heroes and dreams of our 3 towns' young adults. But today, I'm here for a different purpose. Today, I'm here as the voice of both the school committee and the parents of the 3 towns to thank and say goodbye to our principal, Derek Pierce. Derek's been the driving force and guiding light who over the past years has brought our school through its infancy to today's state and national prominence. I remember one of our first meetings together where he drew up a memo that we ended up calling the Roadmap to Success. Derek mentioned some of the difficulties of the past, and I'd have to say he's been one terrific tour guide by using his easygoing manner, his cheesy humor, which we've seen a little bit today of, his integrity, his consensus-building management style. He's built lasting relationships with all the students, the staff, the faculty, the board, and the community. What I have seen is the faculty's love for him, and that love is infectious. The students' ability to relate to him and to trust him has resulted in a Poland community of learning and safety. His ability to translate the board's policies into practical reality while serving both communities illustrates his ability to balance on that razor's edge. Our school has been, Our school has been lucky to attract great people who truly care about our children. And after all, isn't that the greatest example of trust who we, the parents of Poland, Mechanic Falls, Minot, and Raymond, leave our children? After all, how do we measure the success that this group has done for our school? Is the 86% of our students going to college a measure of success? Is it the 5% of our students who are going to serve our country in the armed forces? Is it the $535,000 in scholarship money that our students sitting in front of us have raised this year? I'll leave that answer for you all to ponder. But for Derek, his time is coming to an end, and let's examine perhaps some of the hiccups that he's had here while he stayed. Perhaps some of the hacking and fouling that he was so notorious for during the parent-staff field hockey efforts. Or maybe when he tried to take out the entire varsity basketball team during intramurals. Or perhaps it's his less than frankness with the rules during kickball. But each of you have your own personal anecdotes that you'll live with Derek. It would have been nice if we could have all taken a few minutes and shared with the rest of us what they are. But at this time, because we're all doing this, I'll skip that part and ask our friend, the man we'll miss, the man who delivered us through a sea of confusion to our present state of educational bliss. I'd like to ask Derek to come on up because we have a few tokens of our humor and affection. First, we know how picky those Portland people can be, and you never know where Derek is going to be day to day, so we got him a clip-on tie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, a lifetime of Poland-free haircuts for Derek.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Although Nina's signature's on it, I'm not quite sure she actually wrote on it. This is a free lifetime pass to all co-curricular activities
All right.
here at Poland.
Yes, thank you.
A mushy card with a shopping spree at the main mall.
Oh, wow, thank you.
The perfunctory plaque, right. To Derek Pierce, in recognition and appreciation of your outstanding leadership, continued service, and total dedication to students, staff, and community from the Poland School Committee.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No, don't go in. That's the little things. Those are the things he'll stick up on a wall maybe. Maybe he'll wear, maybe he'll use the haircuts, who knows. But I think we have a greater appreciation for the role and the achievement that he brought to us. So the school committee came up with a more permanent thank you for Derek, and hopefully there's a thing coming by. We're now all sitting in, or sweating in, the Derek Pierce Gymnasium.
Thank you, Dr. Levine. We will now hear the Kaza Quartet, an a cappella ensemble under the direction of Ms. Susan Stockwell, sing And So It Goes by Billy Joel.
to heal the wounds from lovers past, until a new one comes along. I spoke to you in cautious tones. You answered me with no pretense, and still I feel I said too much. My silence is my self-defense, and every time I held a rose, it seems I only felt the thorns. And so it goes, and so it goes, and so will you soon, I suppose. But if my silence made you leave, then that would be my worst mistake. So I will share this room with you, and you can have this heart to break. And this is why my eyes are closed. It's just as well for all I've seen. And so it goes, and so it goes, and you're the only one who knows. So I would choose to be with you. That's if the choice were mine to make. But you can make decisions too, and you can have this heart to break. And so it goes, and so it goes, and you're the only one who knows.
Thank you, very well done. Ben Briggs, class president, has some words of farewell for the class of 2005.
All right. The class of 2005 is always known for putting up a fight and never giving up. Our strength and integrity has carried us here today. We made it through hardships like fundraising and organizing class meetings, but in the end, we pulled through and came together. This class has taught me so much about the value of good friends and how they will always be there, no matter how you may lose touch over the years. The times are changing for each and every one of us. And right now, I'd like just to take this time and thank everyone who has helped me personally and helped this class out over the past year. The first people I would like to recognize will be Sue Briggs and Drea Beal for all their hard work. Without these two advisors, we wouldn't have been able to do anything we did over the course of this year. The next person I'd like to thank is Ronan McNulty for all his hard work and dedication to this class. This guy has been involved with the council since freshman year, and he has been one hell of a vice president. Jeremy Callahan also deserves a big round of applause. This guy stepped up this year and gave our class tons of spirit and pep. His title was class motivator, but he did a ton more. Jessica Quebecus has also been there for this class. She's been there since the beginning. She's a strong and amazing person who I know will do great things other than here. So I'd like to thank her for everything she's done for us as secretary. Justin Libby also deserves a big round of applause, for he pulled through being the class treasurer for this final year. He learned how to be a good leader and a great student and a responsible and involved citizen. These next two people deserve more applaud and recognition than they've ever gotten. This is Ashley Markey and Erica Hubert for everything they have done for this class. Their hard work and passion has truly brought us here today. Speaking for the class, I think we all want to thank the PRHS staff and everyone who's helped us out to get to this place. So if we could give everyone a round of applause, our parents, friends, faculty members, everyone. And as the class president of this faithful class, I'd like to give a very special thanks to all of you for listening to me and supporting me in every way that you possibly could. I'm truly going to miss each and every one of you in some way in the years to come. So thank you very much, and that's it.
Thank you, Ben. Our second student honors speaker this evening is the class valedictorian, Max Levine.
I would like to begin by saying thank you on behalf of the greatest class of the ages, the class of 2005. I would like to thank all of you who are in attendance here today to take part in our ceremony, for this is the last great step in our adolescence to adulthood. I'd like to thank our parents for seeing us through this long and arduous journey. I recognize that sometimes we're better than others, but we have made it here today in large part to your dedication and devotion to us, your children. I'd like to thank the faculty with special emphasis on our roundtable advisor who have seen us through these past 4 years. I personally would like to extend my gratitude to Ms. Karen Fancher, Mr. Darcy Robinson, Mr. Dan Novak, and Ms. Drea Beal, for they have all influenced me during my tenure here at Poland Regional High School. We certainly would all like to wish Mr. Pierce the fondest of farewells, for his compassion, focus, humor, and commitment to the students and the vision of this school has been unparalleled. However, in the same breath, we must usher in the next generations of Poland principals, Dr. Bill Dowdy, for I am sure that he will bring this school to new heights and greater accomplishments. I'd also like to extend my personal gratitude to those in my class who will be entering the armed services in the months to come. Would you please now rise to be recognized? It is your bravery and selflessness that help preserve our great nation's commitment to liberty, democracy, freedom, and for that, we thank you. And now, I must turn to those that everyone here has come to see and support, the graduating class of 2005. For some of us this evening, this concludes 4 years of pain and anguish, friends and fun, and work and play. For others, the students of Poland and Raymond, this marks the first class to travel through grades 7 to 12 in this building. We've shared good times together, and I will cherish these years. However, far and away my fondest memory of my peers was during my class trip to Cape Cod. From the first moment with possibly, as Ms. Schlinken has noted, the worst bus driver in world history, to the last picture we took while having a shady Frenchman watch us in his black Speedo. Each and every moment and event added to the overall glory and brilliance of our adventures. Bystanders would have seen guys and girls, athletes and casual players, enjoying hours of beach volleyball, wiffle ball, frisbee, tennis, and swimming. I personally may have had a little too much fun in the sun, for I came home with the worst sunburn I have ever had. And, oh yes, who could forget those 13-year-old kids who challenged us to a game of wiffle ball and relentlessly chased our girls all around the hotel complex. Twinkle, twinkle, baby, twinkle, twinkle. All the good times we've shared as one is just a testament to how unique our class really is. As Ms. Schlieken said in her farewell address to us down in Cape Cod, your class has amazed me this weekend. I've witnessed you include everyone without question. The cliques that normally appear have never been an issue, and it truly has been the highlight of my year. Although I would like to think that the highlight Ms. Schlieken was referring to was our rendition of Alanis Morissette's Ironic. On your wedding day, it's the free ride that you already paid. It's the good advice. Man, that is one beautiful song. I too was amazed by the diversity of the groups and how incredibly close we were that weekend. But now that we are here sitting in this incredibly warm gymnasium, we must not look to the past any longer, but on to the future. I would offer you this thought. Sir Edmund Burke once noted, "It is necessary for only good men to do nothing for evil to succeed." As we will certainly take all our different paths through life, I hope that you remember the importance of being a generally good human being and member of society above all else. Life is too short, and few are remembered for their success in business and the working world, and those who affect the most change However, those who affect the most change are those who better society, not through apathy or indifference or through hard work, but through their benevolence towards others. I remember once being told a story of an adventurous and zealous young man who set out to change the world, and he tried with all of his might, and yet he failed. Years later, the same man ventured out again and tried to change his community, tried with all of his might, and yet he failed. The same man, years later, now in his old age, tried for a third and final time to change his family. He tried with all the might he had left, and yet, for a third and final time, this man failed. On his deathbed, the man contemplated his actions in life and realized that if he'd first changed himself, he would have been able to change his family. And then his family could have changed his community, and in turn, his community may have changed the world in which he'd lived. In the years to follow, I hope each and every one of you sets the loftiest of goals and shoots for the stars, for it would be a shame for such incredible individuals not to do so. But make sure you have a solid foundation in life. Know who you are and what you stand for. And once you're comfortable with yourself, then you'll be able to affect change in those around you. During our trip, we came together as a class, and today we disperse into the world as individuals. And once you are there, make sure to remember to always be humble. Give thanks to those who deserve thanks. Live each and every day to its fullest. I look very much forward to our reunions, and until then, I wish you the very best, and God bless.
Thank you, Max. And now, for the moment we have all waited for, the presentation of diplomas. Ms. Atkinson-Duino, Dean of Faculty, and Mr. Lafrenia, Dean of Students, will read the names of the graduates. Ms. Schlieken, Mr. Pierce, and Dr. Levine will present diplomas to the graduates. The students will then be greeted by their roundtable advisors and have their photos taken. We ask that you hold your applause until all the graduates receive their diplomas. Since we have a professional photographer and so that everyone can see, we ask that all audience members remain in your seats to take pictures while diplomas are being given out. Thank you.
I am not the Frenchman in the black Speedo. Miss Atkinson says, thank goodness. Jason Boston, self-employed in a sign-making business, will attend college at a later date. Dana Pelletier, St. Joseph's College, business. Megan McKenney, University of Maine Farmington, biology. Rachel Roberts, Pierce School of Cosmetology, cosmetology. Nicholas Salterio, Florida Institute of Technology, aviation management. Jesselyn Stewart, University of Maine Farmington. Toby McAllister, University of Southern Maine, Media Studies. Crystal Hope Farwell. Evan Boley, entering the workforce, then going to college. Nicholas Moreau, Central Maine Community College, business management. Amanda Plummer, St. Joseph's College, pre-med. Alicia McManus, Central Maine Community College, General Studies. Mark Gerard Barabee, Husson College, Criminal Justice. Ryan Stevenson, United States Coast Guard, Damage Control. Courtney Morgan Weber, Wentworth Institute of Technology, Interior Design.
Christina Justine Estabrook will be going to Central Maine Community College to study business. Ashley Tabitha Legassi will be going to Central Maine Community College to study nursing. Brendan Blake will be going to Dartmouth College to study government. Devin Conway will be going to Dickinson College. Krista Flint will be going to Syracuse University to study journalism. John Hicks will be working for a year before going to college. Natalie Ann Tugas will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study business. Kara Lee Ross will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study psychology. Max Ryan Levine will be going to Middlebury College to study international politics and economics. Dylan M. LaBelle will be going to Champlain College to study graphic design. Allison Louise Tilley will be going to the University of New England. John Fortin will be entering the workforce in carpentry and construction and then going to college. Alex Farrington will be going to Husson College. Farrington. And Haley Coyle will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study psychology and nursing.
Amber Smith will be attending Rizzieri Aveda for cosmetology and osteology. Stephanie Losey, University of Southern Maine, criminology. Amanda Doris Corriveau, University of New England, athletic training, physical therapy. Janina Douglas, returning home to Germany. Sarah Levin, returning home to Germany. Amanda Marie Sessions, University of Southern Maine, Political Science. Jeremy Callahan, Mount Ida College, Business Administration. Paul Rowe, entering the workforce in construction. Jesse Champagne, Emerson College, Journalism. Adam Burrill, Central Maine Community College, Automotives. Edmund Janis, University of Mass Boston, Business. Sean Hartford, Hudson College, Game Warden. Ashley Marquis, University of Maine, Secondary Education. Erica Belanger, Mount Ida College, Fashion Design.
Derek Jordan will be going to the United States Navy to become a diver. Robert McKinley will be going to the New England Culinary Institute to become a chef. Curtis Haslip will be going to the United States Marine Corps. Aaron Cannon will be going to the University of Southern Maine. Kevin Wright will be going to the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health. Jessica Kabekis will be going to the University of New England to study biology. Aaron Plord will be going to Unity College to study wildlife conservation. Tyson Jordan will be going to the NASCAR Technical Institute to study race car engineering. Janelle Martell will be entering the workforce. Jennifer Poulos will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study biology. Matthew Turcott will be going to the Rochester Institute of Technology to study psychology. Allison Pepin will be working for a year and then going to Central Maine Community College to study radiology. Daniel Barabee will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study electrical engineering. Patrick McClellan will be going to Gordon College to study communication and history. Nathan Spencer will be going to the University of Southern Maine.
Kimberly Earl, University of Southern Maine, nursing. John Culpepper, University of Southern Maine, music. John Lloyd Raymond, United States Coast Guard, damage control specialist. Jason Nance, University of Maine, aerospace engineering. Justin Libby, Husson College, criminal justice. Alex Smith, Bentley College, business administration. Tiffany Banville, Central Maine Community College, business. Brittany Ray Kopp, University of Southern Maine. Kelly Ashley Weber, Lesley University, art therapy. Cassandra Lothrop, New England College, undecided.
Stephen Ray will be going to Susquehanna University to study business. Amanda Crowder will be going to the Central Maine Community College to study early childhood development. Jared Howe will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study communications. Nicole Perkins will be going to Southern Maine Community College to study culinary arts. Ian Westerman will be going to the University of Vermont to study business. Ashley Christie will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study music and theater. Elizabeth Ann Perkins will be going to the University of Maine, Augusta to study criminal justice and forensic science. Amanda Lynn Johnson will be going to the University of Southern Maine to major in psychology. Rebecca Jean Lindquist will be going to the University of New England to study occupational therapy. Casey Wayne Lyons will be going to the United States Army and then to college. Samuel James Smith will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study English. Melanie Frank will be entering the workforce and then going to college. Joshua Michael Fournier will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study music.
Why is it falling?
I don't know.
I'll hold it till you get back here. I'll hold it here. Look at back up and drop it. Switch. Erica S. Huber, Unity College, Wildlife Care and Education. Amanda Lynn Olmsted, University of Southern Maine, School Guidance Counseling. Ashley Marie Merchant, St. Joseph's College, Psychology. Misty Dawn Grant, Clark University, Psychology. Ian Boley, United States Marine Corps Security Forces. Adam Parker, United States Marine Corps Mechanics. Vanessa Ring, entering the workforce, then college in marine biology. Travis Lovelace, Southern Maine Community College, Industrial Engineering. Abby Perkins, Plymouth State University, Physical Education and Coaching. Adam Fahey, University of Southern Maine, Communications.
Benjamin Briggs will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study business. Garrett Petersons will be going to Western New England College to study economics. Natasha Collins will be going to the Central Maine Community College to study criminal justice and the Army National Guard. Angela Greenwald will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study music performance. And Elsie Cummings will be going to Suffolk University to study business. Josh Pomerlow will be going to the University of Maine, Orono. Marlo Hewitt will be going to the University of Southern Maine to study business, marketing, and management. Ryan Purrington will be entering the workforce. Bradley A. Whitworth will be going to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute to study biochemistry and biophysics. Lori French will be going to Thomas College to study communications and English.
Chelsea Pelletier, University of Maine, Psychology. Daniel N. Poliquin, Unity College, Conservation Law Enforcement. Tina Girardin, Central Maine Community College, Early Childhood Education. Jarrett Huffman, Central Maine Community College, General Studies. Philip Burrill, Eastern Maine Community College, Diesel Mechanics. Heidi Goss, Hofstra University, Marketing. Ronan McNulty, University of Chicago, Economics. Aaron Sawyer, University of Southern Maine, Media Studies. Crystal Emerson, entering the workforce as a dental assistant. Benjamin James Wardwell, Wentworth Institute of Technology, Computer Engineering. Mark DeHetri, Central Maine Community College, Business Administration.
Will the class marshals please lead the class in changing of the tassels? Stand. I present to you the graduates class and faculty will recess to their class song, Last Summer by the Lost Prophets.
sun bears down again. As we drive with our friends. And on these longest days we spend. All the time trying to pretend that our stories could be true. Pretend to be cool. The setting sun says the day is through. If only we knew. And we all sit round here in our hometown, listen to the waves as they all crash down, and watch the fires that slowly burns away, glowing embers fly across the sky. You're here by my side in the summer, right last summer. This fire in the summer, right last summer. Like me shadows fall, surrounded by each other. I let you watch it all, view from all that summer. View from all that summer. We trace the sun across the sky, and till we cry. Always so hard to say